Oh. Happy day, everybody, and welcome back to the Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse Video Podcast. This is episode 2, and I'm so hope you guys were able to catch episode 1 because it was a great laugh and a lot of information to take in. But for tonight's show, we'll be covering news in regards to the vaccine, the recreation, athletics news coming from Mr. Palmer, and interviews with our women's basketball coach, Ms. Sil Olandez, and an interview with a women's basketball player and athlete, Teresa Wagthuth. And there's also a big surprise towards the end, so stay tuned for that. For those of you who haven't gotten your vaccine or still are looking forward to getting it, the vaccine will still be here until February. So come on by down to the field house. In terms of the recreation news, some of the fitness classes have been called off due to the COVID related issues in terms of the instructors. So some of the classes have been canceled. And if you do wish to call the athletic main office to verify the classes on the day of the class, you can go ahead and do so. But the Triton Fitness Center still remains open with at least 15 people per hour, along with sanitation going on, and the hours remain the same. And now I'm going to go ahead and jot it on over to Mr. Palmer over here for all of our updates in terms of our athletic news.
Thank you, Rosanna. And we do have a lot of good athletic news coming up. We're actually right in the middle of tryouts. There's a men's basketball tryout going on right now. And we have 15 young men out there trying out. So when I left to come to this podcast, so we had 9 new people show up. So it looks very good that we'll have the numbers for men's basketball this spring. We have women's basketball tryout coming at 7 o'clock tonight. So Coach Seal and Tess will be heading right to the tryouts after they get done here. So we had a couple of new bodies add to our men's soccer team. Women's rugby, we're still looking for bodies. So we only had some of our current players at the tryouts, but hopefully we'll pick up a few more. And men's baseball had a COVID issue, and we cannot have men's baseball tryouts, but we will try to have men's baseball tryouts next week or the week after. So we're going to, it looks like we're gaining some good bodies. I originally had written down here we had low numbers. Now I have to say we have good numbers. So things are looking much better. Coming up, women's and men's basketball will be playing this weekend. They're playing in the 3-on-3 Slam Jam tournament down in Agana, down at the Paseo outdoor courts. So we're really excited about that. This is the opening weekend for the women's basketball team. First time they've gotten to play. We're going to send 4 of our dorm students out there to be the team for this. These 3-on-3, you can only have 4 people on a roster. We didn't have enough to have 2 teams, but we're going to send 4 of our dorm students down there who are on the team are going to play for us. Men's basketball will also be playing. They same thing, have a team of 4. Heck, with what the numbers we got out there, we could have 3 teams, but of course it's a little too late for that to happen. Men's basketball will play again in another double elimination tournament coming February 6th and 13th. Those are 2 Sundays, so they're going to have to play 2 to 3 games a day to win that tournament or get through that tournament. And we're also going to have a first-time ever co-ed basketball team with some of our varsity men and women combining and playing in a first-ever co-ed tournament. We had a conversation back in the end of December with some of the administrators here, and we decided that we want to try some co-ed sports in the future because it seems to be easier to get the numbers you need when you play co-ed. So we're going to potentially move some of our sports or add co-ed to some of our sports. So we may have more co-ed teams in the future. What else? UOG will sponsor. UOG will sponsor this co-ed team. We've already decided women's rugby is going to become a club team for this spring because it doesn't look like we're going to have pretty big numbers there. Women's rugby is supposed to play on February 26th in a 4-team tournament, which means we may have to play 5 rugby matches in one day. So we couldn't get through 3 rugby matches in the fall without getting somebody hurt. So we're going to make this a club team, which is going to allow more people to play, and it actually even allows GCC students to join a club team and play. GCC students can't play on our varsity teams, but they can play on our club teams. So we're going to try to recruit some GCC players to come over, because we really won't have about 10 women's rugby players to play when we play in this tournament. Because I said 5 games, even though they're only 7-minute matches, there's a lot of contact out there. So we want to make sure we got enough bodies to keep people rested and healthy. Baseball and men's soccer are still waiting for their seasons. Baseball, we've decided that we're going to play some exhibition games come late February and March, because we don't think Guam Major League is really going to get started till maybe April, maybe even later than that. So we've told both men's soccer and baseball to be ready to play into the summer, because I don't think those seasons are going to end during the academic year for us. And like I said, that's the news for the athletics right now, but it is exciting. Like I said, I'm pumping right now about the 15 men's basketball players that showed up. We barely could get 3 players out there for some games in our last tournament, but now I'm already thinking, okay, now we got enough to join the co-ed team when we're going to have our coaches or our coaches play on the co-ed team. Now we don't need to do that. Now we can have enough extra men's players to play on the co-ed team as well. Let's play for the men's teams, because we're not going to have enough playing time if we do have 13, 14, or 15 players out there. So, Rosanna, back to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Palmer. If you are a person who goes to UOG or GCC and interested in any of the sports that we have to offer, or would like more information in regards to it, you can go ahead and contact Mr. Palmer through our athletic department. And she's been on this podcast before. We have seen her give skills. We have seen her give a little bit more history in terms of herself, but now it is time for her to go ahead and answer some questions now that her season is finally starting. Everyone, let's move it on over to the women's basketball coach, Sil Olandis. Welcome back. It's good to see you too. So we are very excited for the 3-on-3 tournament that is going to be happening this weekend. Do you have any thoughts in regards to playing the tournament, and especially since you guys haven't played, have you guys done anything in order to prepare for it?
Okay, well, we have practice, and so I think the girls are a little bit nervous, but also excited to get going with playing. They haven't played all year last year, so all the work that they put in practicing outdoors, they'll be able to at least see some competition with the 3-on-3.
Oh, okay. So I heard that the team was made up of all dorm students as of right now for the tournament, at least. And it's not usual for us to hear that, because we always know it's always just anybody else, not really from the dorms, but just those of the other students who come to the university. So how is it, are you used to it? Or I think what I'm trying to get at here is, are there any advantages towards having all of them within the dorms be on the team and play for the tournament this weekend?
The advantage that they have is that they've played together from the outer islands, but also practicing, they actually have been consistently practicing together. So the advantage is that that chemistry that they have with each other. So that's the advantage that I think that the girls would have, the athletes would have.
So this is a 4-team tournament that you guys are going to be playing. It's a pool play and bracket play. Those are 2 new terms for myself. I had to learn it a few minutes before the show. But what are the different strategies you guys plan on using during the 2 stages of these tournaments?
Okay. Well, first, it's getting the jitters, the first game jitters out there, and once they get comfortable, we're pretty much going to be playing, doing a lot of screening and not tiring themselves out, because I do know that there are some of the athletes that will be competing against our national players. So that's pretty tough, but that's the first thing, is just to get a feel of how the other teams are playing, And then on the next round is where we strategize and look at what players that they need to defend, protect, how to protect the basket, how to attack. A lot of screening when it comes to 3-on-3. It's getting free from the ball and knowing when to conserve your energy, knowing when to exert your energy. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be working with the girls.
Oh, that sounds very exciting, and it just has me pumped up for the game. So I also hear that you'll be coaching for the first ever co-ed team here for the University of Guam, and to play an outside tournament in the Love and Basketball tournament in a couple of weeks as well. Do you have any thoughts on that? And then also to kind of, if you could just inform us, about this whole co-ed tournament as well.
Well, the co-ed tournament, it's actually a great opportunity for our women athletes to compete against men because it actually elevates their game. It's just a great opportunity to get that feel, and it actually also helps with their skills, their ability to read and to quickly think. So the co-ed, I participated in co-ed, and so there is, I believe, a minimum of 2 women on the team, and so the advantage of having women on the team is, I believe, they get 3 points for 2 instead of 2 points. One shot is 3 points, and then I think on a free throw it's not 1 point but 2 points. So there's some advantage to playing in the co-ed tournament.
So we also heard a rumor, right? And you did also had mentioned that you have played in the co-ed tournament before. Is there a rumor going around that you will also be playing in the co-ed tournament? And I think we also heard that the men's basketball coaches will also be playing too. Will you be playing?
I don't think I'll be playing this time around. I kind of jammed my thumb on I actually participated in a co-ed tournament last month in December. So, but I'll take a break. I'll be on the side coaching.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the sidelines and giving all your girls the best that you can give them in terms of motivation and having them work really hard during the tournament. Are there any last words you want to go ahead and give towards the team?
Just to go out there, have fun. The best thing that you can do is to have fun, just enjoy the sport, and everything will just fall into place. Yeah, so just have fun.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Coach, for coming on board.
Thank you.
Now we will be having the athlete, the women's basketball athlete, Teresa, come on to the show with us tonight and go ahead and get a little preview of what it's going to be like for her experience and to also get to know her. So let's go on board, shall we? Hi, Teresa. It's nice to have you on board, another athlete. Also, I really like your jersey. We're matching too because this is these are the jerseys and the designs that we'll be having for the tournament this weekend. So we're obviously very excited, and we're having a pregame pump right now. So, Teresa, can you go ahead and just tell us about yourself?
So my name is Teresa, but people usually call me Tess. And this is my second semester here, and this is my first time playing basketball here. So I'm kind of scared. And also, this is my first time interviewing, so please don't mind if I stutter.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. So there is going to be a 3-on-3 tournament this weekend. Have you ever played a 3-on-3 tournament, like ever?
Well, in a tournament, no, but like for fun, yeah. So it's just like 1, 2, 3, point game. Okay, next team. So yeah, no, I never really played in a tournament.
Well, that's very exciting for you to come on board and seeing as this is your first tournament as well. So the dorm students are representing the University of Guam in this tournament. Do you have any thoughts in regards on several different islands being represented on the team and then as well as representing the university at the same time?
I think it's interesting knowing a lot of people and making new friends and getting to know where they're from and like their cultures, different cultures.
That's good. So you will get to play 4 games at least in the tournament. And so, how do you plan on winning? And do you the tournament? Do you have like any strategies of your own? Do you have like a mental preparedness going on?
The only thing I know is to get open, and if you're open, make a shot. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do.
Oh yes, I definitely remember those days, and that's the opportunity that we want to get. So I hear that you will be playing in the first co-ed team for the University of Guam in a few weeks, and I know when you were reading the script, you were somewhat shocked as well. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yes, because I didn't know there was a co-ed team, and I didn't know that I was gonna be put on the team. So, and I'd never joined a co-ed team or a game before, so it's kind of scary to play with boys in a tournament.
So we know this is not what you expected, especially to start off the women's basketball team like during this time in COVID. Seeing as you guys haven't played for almost 2 years, is it exciting or disappointing to you as a basketball player not to be playing like a regular basketball game during, whether it's in the field house or just like as a regular basketball game would go?
I think it's good that we're starting small because I'm not really the best player, so it's a good practice for me before I get out and play the real game.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on board with us. We very much appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck on the tournament this weekend. We're very excited to see the end results and to also see all of the pictures that's going to be out on social media. So I will definitely be keeping track on that. Any final thoughts before we go ahead and close the show? Any final thoughts in terms of you being here at the university or just going towards the tournament this weekend?
Well, I don't know, just have fun.
Okay, she obviously had like a really great talk with coach because she mentioned to have fun, so she knows that she needs to have fun during this tournament. Okay, so before we go ahead and end the show, actually, we do have a big announcement coming up for the podcast. So it's always been known since throughout season 1 that it's always been called Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse Video Podcast, and that is a mouthful. Sometimes I be running on my words and I forget what I'm saying of like what I'm doing right now. So we will go ahead and be rebranding the name, and we will definitely be back. I believe it's going to be next episode that we will be revealing the new name of the show once we have collected all of our ideas and brainstorm, and we will be rebranded, and there will be a whole bunch of excitement about it. So definitely stay tuned for that. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to also hit that notification button so you know when we're going to go ahead and start our live show. And so, Tess, since you're here, I'm not too sure if you've ever seen any of our video podcasts, but we always end the show with throwing up our Triton sign and then looking at the camera and then just saying Biba UOG and hold the pose for the camera, and that's a wrap. Okay, so on 3, we can go ahead and just do that, and we're good. Okay, let's try it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Biba UOG.